and welcome back to a new episode of ThoughtCast. Today, we will explore the growth levers of flex workspace market in Kolkata with Shantanu Ghosh. Shantanu is the Senior Director at JLL India and heads office leasing and retail for East India. He brings with him a rich experience of over 18 years in the real estate industry. His acumen in office leasing and exceptional relationship management with occupiers, developers, and operators has earned him the top spot as a corporate real estate professional in the East region. Welcome, Shantanu. It's a pleasure to have you with us today.
Thank you very much. Thanks for the invitation. It's a great pleasure indeed.
Kolkata showed great resilience during the pandemic. And in fact, the city has recorded very encouraging growth in flex space market, which has incrementally picked up post-pandemic. Let's discuss what and why of that today. My first question for you is, how has the occupier sentiment evolved over time since the pandemic and contributed to the growth of flex space in Kolkata?
So I would like to start with a small data point. Calcutta is typically a 1 million square feet absorption market. And in last 3 years, we have seen about 700,000 square feet of space have been taken by various flex operators, which accounts for about 20 to 23% average annual consumption, which speaks a volume about the traction that we are witnessing at this moment. So there are a couple of factors which have kind of surged the overall space intake by operators. Number one is, of course, the flexibility that you have on offer. Every corporate biggest want about 15 to 20% of their portfolio in flex segment, right? Number two is the savings on capex, right? All the companies have become extremely cautious in terms of spending, and you offer them the flexibility, and you help them to mitigate the risk to a large extent. And number three is, of course, the reverse migration. So a lot of people have moved to, those who are walking in tier 2 cities, they have moved to their, hometown. And now the companies want these giants want to kind of, spread their overall wings to these tier 2 cities. So these are 3-4 reasons which are causing a huge amount of, momentum in this segment.
The points you've highlighted here are very interesting, Shantanu. You mentioned flexibility as being, one of the key drivers, along with savings on capex and then reverse migration. Moving on, can you shed some light on the flex space demand distribution basis industry and products in Kolkata market? Products like flex spaces, enterprise solutions, meeting rooms, etc.
The office leasing ecosystem started, before pandemic only. But Calcutta was little slow to catch up the momentum. In fact, overall momentum reached at its peak while COVID was at its devastating worst. Till 2019, we had about 5,000 seats in Calcutta, which scaled to about 15,000. I'm sure that it will grow more, and we are seeing a lot of momentum from the IT companies, the technology firm, the BPOs, the banking, the financial institutions. They are all preferring enterprising model over the traditional office. This meeting room and others, these are the very minuscule part of your overall, the gamut of services you have on offer. But I think this enterprise model is definitely going to stay, because it helps the these biggies to mitigate their risk to a large extent.
The demand distribution, as you've explained, makes a lot of sense when we correlate it with the industry where maximum demand is coming from, IT in the case of Kolkata. Correct. So now that we've discussed demand distribution, how do you foresee the future of Kolkata's flex space market 2 to 3 years down the line?
So I have no doubt whatsoever in my mind that this is going to stay, and Calcutta as a city is definitely going to rock. There are few reasons, Calcutta as a city they were devoid of good talent, but mostly they were getting relocated to other cities because of reasons beyond control. But due to this pandemic, all the biggies are looking at Calcutta So like overall, the demand has already been created. You operators see a lot of demands coming from, different companies. You will definitely extend your business to Calcutta, right? So that is precisely happening. And I think like, the Silicon Valley initiative, masterminded by government, I mean, the West Bengal government also played a pivotal role. See, the reason being, Calcutta was never devoid of good talent, but they were mostly getting relocated to other cities. Now, on account of reverse migration, they have already come back. And the biggies are also looking at Calcutta to extend their footprint. So there is already link. The link has already been established. And as I said, that this enterprise solution is actually being preferred over traditional, office. So I see like, the future is definitely bright.
That sounds quite promising. So my next question is that, while we are talking about the future and growth of flex space market, what kind of innovations in terms of technology, sustainability, or design do you foresee, or do you think the co-working players in Kolkata should next focus on in order to stay relevant?
Our study shows that 83% of occupiers agreeing to the fact that the future workforce would want that sustainability in their offices, right? So there are a couple of things the operators need to keep in mind. Number one, you need to shift your entire portfolio to buildings which are like gold or platinum certified. While you are doing fit out, you need to use that recycled product, right? Recycled material. Also, like recycling of that, water, and the water treatment plant needs to be there at site. So energy efficient, you need to be present in those buildings which are extremely energy efficient, because these are certain parameters which companies are internally discussing, and these are of paramount importance. Now, as far as technology is concerned, I would rather say that you need to implement technology with utmost efficiency. It has to be user friendly. I know that technology you are using, you are giving all the occupiers are kind of leveraging the technology to the optimum level, but you need to ensure that the implementation has to be seamless, and also it has to be user friendly.
Those were some very pertinent points for any existing or new co-working players in the market. So recently, we've been seeing that hybrid work has become very popular with employers and employees alike. And definitely because of hybrid work, many companies, even larger corporates, are expanding to tier 2 markets. What is your observation on this trend, and what role are flex spaces playing in ensuring this transition from metros to emerging metros?
So, Suketi, it's a favorite point. Recently, I have been to a few, tier 2 cities, and because client wanted me to visit these cities, and the key word is again that reverse migration, which I have been saying right from the beginning. Uh, so, these companies, they know that they have to, they are pushing their employees to again come back to office, but at the same time they have realized that they need to extend their offices to their doorstep, right? And for that, they need to enhance, extend, expand their footprint to tier 2 cities. There are challenges. The challenges, as in you will getting a quality and compliant asset itself is a challenge. So, as I said, that these companies, the biggies, they want their risk to be mitigated to a large extent. For that, in any case, they have roped in you guys for other places, right? So in tier 2 cities also, they want you to they want your presence, so that you take the asset, you assess the asset, and you propose that asset to your clients, right? So I see the future is quite bright. There are opportunities, but there are some underlying challenges also in terms of the quality of asset. We are trying to educate the developers, and in 2 3 years time, in fact, like in next 1 or 2 years only, you will see the difference. While the model is going to say stay, while we are going to see a huge amount of traction in tier 2 cities, the only thing is that we need to build a quality asset. We need to be instrumental in educating developers to build quality assets so that we can help these biggies to extend their footprint in these cities.
That was quite insightful. Thanks a lot for answering some very important questions for us today. While we've discussed all about the industry, what was that one key moment in your career that has shaped your professional journey so far?
So back in 2008, while I was doing reasonably well, I was part of a real estate, startup. I was one of the founding member of a real estate brokerage firm, right, in Calcutta. We ran that venture for about 4 5 years, and thereafter it got acquired by another company. So that experience, worked well during, while COVID was at its worst, and while the situation around me was gloomy, that helped me. That experience helped me to stay resilient and, helped me to keep motivating my team.
Thank you so much, Shantanu, for deep diving into the flex space market with us and highlighting some very interesting points pertaining to its current and future growth. I'd also like to thank our wonderful audience for watching this episode. Your appreciation keeps us going to create more such informative and industry relevant content for you. See you next time with another expert to explore a new trend in the flex workspace industry. Till then, take care and stay safe.